Hey guys, welcome back. We're back on the blowoutforums.com. These guys are insane. The amount of detective work and information they have assembled on the wrongdoers in the sports community is unprecedented, insane, absolutely amazing work by them. So if there's anything that you're still questioning, be sure to go check that out. Give them a pat on the back. Because they've done a lot of the hard work that I feel like we're going to have to do in the Pokemon community eventually when enough money pours into something. Like sports cards in this case, you end up with a lot of shady dadies. And so we can learn a lot from this. Today we're going to be picking on PWCC. No, we're not yet going to get into the fact that they were kicked from eBay. I'm sure eBay had a good reason for that, and that'll be a future video where we will discuss that. For now, we're going to look at the altered cards, all the shady stuff that they did long before that. This article, it looks like it was started in 2016, so it's been years of them being shady characters. I've purchased myself a lot of Pokemon cards off of PWCC before I knew any of this. I haven't in recent times. But it's important. There's a lot of people that shop for Pokemon cards, that sell their Pokemon cards through PWCC. So it's important to know not only about the grading companies that you're sending into, but also the services or auction house type people, what they do, what they've done, whether or not it affects the stuff that you're sending in or buying. Maybe not, but it's still good to know that these people have done a lot of wrong, and we'll be looking through that, at least the beginning of it. I think to cover everything would be too long of a video, so let's get straight into it. So here we go. This is a sort of a start here, the short guide to the PWCC card trimming and alteration fraud. So we won't read the entire thing, but we'll skim through the major points here. The major sports card grading companies BGS and PSA have consistently shown that they are simply not detecting alterations such as trimming to sports cards. Whatever the reason, hundreds of cards have already been proven to have been incorrectly authenticated by PSA and BGS based on their own standards. And this is true. If they're not spending enough time on these things, if there's no database to prove or to identify a card as potentially being another one that's already been seen by the system, how that's not implemented already, I don't know, but it certainly isn't, because we would know if it was. We'd hear more about a card being altered, other than the odd one that's colored in or something obvious. So, number 2, PWCC was identified to be selling vast numbers of trimmed modern cards graded by BGS and PSA. The sources of these cards are individuals who have long been identified as proving or likely card trimmers. These include, but are not limited to, Robert Block, Kevin Burge, and associates Keith Koenig, Vinny Ho, etc., and Will Jamet. So here we have, we'll read the bold parts as well. PWCC has taken action to not work with these consigners moving forward, but they have failed to identify any cards that were submitted for consignment by these individuals. PWCC's customers have had to research the provenance of their cards on their own to determine if it was possible that their cards have been altered. So typically you wouldn't want to provide information for somebody that was selling through you, but I think in this case where you have somebody that is committing fraud, it would be important to let the customers know if they bought something that isn't legitimate and find a way to rectify that, especially when your involvement was as deep as it seems PWCC was. So here we go. Then we'll get into point number 3 here. PWCC released a set of marketplace tenets. These tenets more or less outline cards that were acceptable and unacceptable to be sold on the PWCC marketplace. They flatly stated that they would not permit the sale of trim cards on their platform. This is going to be funny later on when we take a look at the cards that were sold on there, some of which purchased regraded or altered, regraded, and sold by PWCC, their actual account. So stay tuned for that. Last is Gary Moser's involvement with PWCC. For anyone that doesn't know, this guy is supposedly the scissor man, and is infamous cutting, trimming, whatever you want to say, to cards. Involvement with PWCC. For the better part of the last 19 years, Gary Moser's name has appeared again and again in online communities as someone who is altering cards, forging cards, being involved with sports card scams, and associating with defunct fraudulent grading companies. So yeah, bad guy. Stay away. Don't be him. Don't be like him. Again, PWCC has said they will stop working with Moser. How nice of them. However, they have not informed collectors and customers of what cards he consigned with PWCC. Again, if you're selling fraudulent cards, fraudulent items, and someone purchased them, and you're directly benefiting from that, it's basically your obligation to let the customer know that they received something that is tampered or not real anymore, I guess. It's altered to the point that the value isn't what they were bidding on. And I guess at this point using the shield of, it's graded, so it's got to be authenticated, so maybe passing the blame onto the grading companies. I am receiving messages daily from collectors who are wondering if the cards they bought from PWCC have been altered. PWCC should be proactively answering these questions. I 100% agree. So here we go. Gary Moser frequently showed his altered cards in PWCC's auctions. So on top of altering them, he's also shilling his own cards. And that's I guess shilling was the reason I think that was originally given for why PWCC got kicked from eBay and now have to use their own platform. On at least 6 occasions, PWCC's eBay account, PWCC_auctions, purchased cards that were later altered and sold via PWCC. On 4 of these occasions, this is what we'll be looking at today, by the way. A card in the same PSA submission was previously purchased, and on 3 occasions purchased unaltered by Gary Moser. This suggests that PWC was a knowing and willing participant in Gary Moser's decades-long scheme to defraud collectors. Bad luck. Bad luck on Gary. Bad luck on PWCC. Bad luck on the grading companies that let this slip through the cracks. And just bad luck in general for everyone that's taking advantage of people, the end buyers. So here we go. We read the summary, or at least skimmed through it. Here are the archives of the PWCC Auctions ID, PWCC's only known eBay account, buyer feedback. So here we go. Here it is. For anyone that doesn't know, the first and last letter are random parts of the username. We got the nice flying star here so we can identify it easily. It'll stick out like a sore thumb with PWCC having so much feedback on the account. So here we have altered card number 1, purchased and sold by PWCC. So here we go. We got the 1. We have tape/tape residue removed, although it's still visible with careful examination. So they've even identified all the characteristics that tell you that it's the same card. All the areas where here we have the tape residue removed. And we went from a 1 to a 6. How free tendies is that? So here we go. Enhanced PSA 6 image. So here we have Moser connection. Lincoln card has not been proven to be altered in this case. So buyer, there's that other account there. The Moser account. We have a 6 where it ended up being a 6 still. But here we go. Altered card. Altered card number 2, purchased and sold by PWCC. Here we go. We got the eBay account here. We have trimmed right edge. So we went from a 4.5, trim this baby down, and looky, go from a 4.5 to a 6. Again, huge difference in value. Next up, we have Moser connection. A linking card appears to have been pressed to sharpen corners. Possible trimmed right edge as well. So here we go. So we went from a 4 to a 5. It's not like Pokemon. These vintage baseball cards, the condition is not going to get anywhere near it. Altered card number 3, purchased and sold by PWCC. So, and when I first started, or when I first got into the PWCC auctions or was purchasing stuff from there, I've never submitted anything to them to sell. Just because I don't sell very much other than the leftover stuff that I have. I'm not sending anything in to get graded to resell it. That's not something I want to do. There's a lot of people that do that make money off of it, but I don't know, not for me. I don't have time for that. Altered card number 3, purchased and sold by PWCC. Here we go, quick payment, value customer. We went from a 5 to a 5.5. And in Pokemon, this, I mean, going from a 5 to a 5.5 is not going to matter. Or going from a 5 to a 6 or whatever. But in the sports card world, these grades make a huge difference, again, for anyone that's not really familiar. So here we have the Moser connection. A linking card is trimmed left and right edges. So here we go. We got the account on wraps. We got the EX Mint 6. What do they do? Oh, they trimmed both sides. Here we go. So there we go. We got a jump. We got a 6 to a 7. Again, by means of sending this in. How they can submit this many cards through PSA and no one catches on, you got to think that there's either something fishy going on and they know about it, or maybe, I mean, it's got to be that, or they just have to be incompetent or asleep at the wheel. There's no way that you can't catch this eventually. And then second guess everything that particular person sends in, or ban that person from actually submitting anything. Altered card number 4, purchased and sold by PWCC. Here we go again. So I don't know what this is. Maybe they accidentally purchased with the PWCC account. I'm not sure why they would. Maybe they just didn't think anyone would notice. But obviously they did. They caught up. They caught onto this, and now it just looks bad. So here we go. Ooh, date purchased, date sold. Like 5 years. So I guess that would cover you a little bit. We have Chrissy Mathewson, VG4. Image composite, creased, pressed out, clean, corners improved. Very cool. We got a 4. It looks like they improved the look of the card, but they didn't get a better grade on the card. So that would be a fail. But still, maybe it would go for more money based on the overall appearance. Moser connection. Linking card has been cleaned. So here we go. We got the 4. We're gonna have a little cleanup here. And if they're not coming through on the YouTube video very well, then definitely feel free to head on over to the Blowout forums Maybe I'll put the link in the description in case anyone wants to take a closer look at these. But here we go. We went from a 4 to a 7. Big buckaroos. Altered card number 5 and number 6. Purchased and sold by PWCC. Same PSA submission. Currently not linked to Moser. So here we go. We get the PWCC account. We get the old Babe Ruth. Failed cleaning on this one. So here we go. Alteration gone wrong. It went from a 1 to a 1. But you see where they tried to clean or press the card here. And they messed it up. Got it regraded though. A little bit of paper loss, I think they call it in the sports world. Not really something that we discuss or look at in Pokemon. It's usually at that point just played. So here we go. What do we got? We have this one has gone through a lot of alteration on the back. This card was also damaged, paper loss due to alteration. Item feedback. Identifying card using worth point, exact title match, image composite, cleaning of reverse, paper loss created. So here we go, another paper loss, another PWCC purchase. You would think as the auction company itself, they wouldn't be buying and reselling, let alone buying, cracking, altering, grading, and then reselling. Even regrading, I think, would be a stretch and probably shouldn't be done through the company itself. Maybe the business was run differently at that point in time, but regardless, it's still something to keep in mind. Don't be fooled. These guys are crooks. So what do we have here? Cleaning reverse, paper loss created. Here we go. We got a little paper loss. So here we go. We have something else here. It says, I'll let people draw their own conclusions on this mess. So another PWCC where they have an SGC card. They take it out and sell it as is. Here it says, card was once graded by SGC and removed from the SGC holder to be placed into a raw set. Please note that the card appears to be slightly miscut along the left edge, but otherwise shows strong near mint to near mint mint qualities. One of over 8,000 cards, lots, and sets up for bid in our 6th auction of 2014. Click on the link above to view the other PWCC auction lots. So, interesting. Very nice card, looks great. Pictures have a glare, very hard to get a good picture with the black insert. I think that's SGC's claim to fame, is the black insert. 84. Thanks for looking, good luck. Very interesting. I love this here too, that they highlighted. Almost surely the result of a scrapbook find. Yeah, okay. Definitely not a failed attempt at cleaning the card. Well, guys, I hope this was an eye-opener. We don't see a whole lot like this in Pokemon, but I think that at some point it will get to that. And so the grading companies, if they're watching, if they're paying attention, they should be looking out for stuff like this before it gets into the world of Pokemon. But if they can't do it with sports, where most of their focus is, especially where sports is usually the main focus of any grading company, I don't know. I don't know. You got to look out for yourself, look out for each other, and stay educated on all of this. And before you dump big money into sealed product, graded cards, anything else, do your research. Videos like this, articles like this, you can't see it all, but the more you know, the more protected you are. So, thanks guys for tuning in. See you next time.